Face reality, people. Movies are dead. Games are dead. Narrative? Dead.
Media is nothing but neural trigger response and viral conditioning.
Wait, what are you two talking about?
All right, just watched a movie called Monkey Man. Uh, fuck. It's not bad. It's not bad, but I've seen this hero's journey before. But this is not bad, man. It's not. If you're into Jesus Christ, if you're into John Wick, but also want some sort of spiritual story behind it, some sort of sun archetype character behind it, and this movie fucking nails it for you. Although there are straight up, I call it boring for me. It's kind of boring for me. It's the crazy violence action sequence for the sake of crazy violent action sequence. Which I get. There's people who are fans of that shit. For me, that's weird, but for others, like I get it. Like you want to see, headshot, knife through the neck, all right, blood, gore. Like I get it. That shit's awesome for some people.
The choreographed fights.
Well, let's be honest, it's more of the violence. There's always been choreographed fights, but
Yeah, you're right.
John
You're
Wick
right.
was shooting fucking Glocks in people's foreheads in close range, which made it more like, oh fuck, oh shit, you see that? Oh man. Like I get it. I don't get it, but I understand.
Yeah.
But I don't
It's real
understand.
life GTA, man. Real life GTA.
It's like weird, like I don't know. But there's actually a nod to John Wick in this movie because there's a lot of John Wick looking scenes of like pure fucking violence action thing. You know. But there's also more of a story behind it. But
Yeah.
as far as like just looking at the plot, you follow like, oh, you were a kid and somebody, hurt your mom or killed your mom or your family. And then there's some sort of revenge tour you go on. It's been haunting you your entire life, and you're everything you're doing is just an opportunity to get revenge, and then boom, you fail because it's the beginning of the movie. We can't end the movie yet, so you failed. So you need to like fuck up, and then go retrain, like go away, retrain, but you know, retrain with more of a, I guess, like a spiritual backbone. He went away to learn something more important, and then he comes back to that same old world and just runs through it, basically. It's like all of his shortcomings are now no longer shortcomings. Yeah. And that's all based on this woo-woo sense of character growth, of I don't know, learning to deal with your past traumas, learning to live for something more than revenge. You know the stereotypes. You know the cliches. Come on, guys. That is essentially what this movie is. Which are my favorite, like, they're kind of my favorite types of movies. Just, I can do without like the thing that made the Dark Knight special, or the Batman trilogy from Nolan, is that he didn't need to retain his revenge tour. It was just a starting point to be like, you're a child, and your sense of, I don't know, making the world better is to push others down to build yourself up, which means taking revenge, right? I need to harm these guys in order for me to feel satisfied about why I'm existing. Right? It's different than a true sense of justice, I would think. And I think the Batman trilogy agrees with me on that. But this movie kind of, they mishmashed it to where, oh, he started learning how to fight by following the the beat of the bongos. It's like some sort of spiritual thing instead of like hard, hard nosed, rocky, beat up frozen meat in a meat locker shit, and just do push ups. Like, oh, you're good. You did push ups. Like, no, he had to actually learn rhythm in a spiritual sense, and then he learns how to fight, and he can go back and beat the shit out of these motherfuckers. I don't fucking know, man. I don't know. I'm rambling. I'm just like remembering the movie as I'm talking about it, and it's
Yeah, no, having a hard time doing it.
well, here's the thing. It has plenty of the elements that I like about movies, and especially, well, my favorite types of movies are the hero movies, where it's about a heroic character, and this character is definitely that. But I guess the medium that it's in, the genre it's in, the hyper action thriller thing throws me off a bit. But I'm okay with that too, man. It's whatever. I get it. He's kind of John Wick. I get it. John Wick with a deeper purpose. I understand that. Okay. But fuck. All in all, an alright movie. It's not bad. I'm not gonna call it bad at all. I don't think I'm gonna call it average. I think it's a little bit above average. I think there's a reach for something more to say. It's like Dev Patel watched all the movies that I saw or something. That's what it seems like. I hope I'm saying his name right. He's starring, directing, and apparently doing the screenplay as well. And he's probably seen the same movies I saw. It was like, man, if I made a movie, I would do this. He was like, I saw The Matrix, here we go. I saw John Wick, here we go. I saw whatever, Batman, here we go. I saw, like, yeah, he's probably seen all these movies, and you can see them incorporated in the movie. Like, a lot of, like, word for word, or paying homage to those things. 100% are all in this movie. And, I'm okay with it. I'm alright with it. Is it greatness? No, because we've seen it before, and honestly, a movie like that, with as far as the moments that you point out to go into detail with, right? Instead of kind of going more into detail of psychologically how the hero character overcomes, I think they spent more time on action sequences than like that thing. And I'd personally rather have the psychological shit. I think it'd be more interesting and probably more unique coming from a different person, right? Dev Patel instead of, Jonathan Nolan or the Wachowskis or whatever. And I'd still, it'd be interesting in a different perspective from a different person. But action sequences, they all seem like a blur to me, man. I get it. It'll be cool to see the guy get fucking flambéed. What's it called? Flambéed. That shit when you light the pan on fire. Whatever. To watch that motherfucker get lit on fire with a bottle of cognac on a fucking skillet or on a stovetop. Like, yeah, it's fucking crazy. Like, oh shit. Or to watch like a knife go into someone's face or in their neck or some shit. Like, oh fuck, I get it. Some people watch movies for that reason. It's kind of weird to me, but I understand if you watch movies for that. But for me, I like to make something extra special. There needs to be these elements in there. Everything, everywhere, all at once. Those elements are there, even though it has all the crazy action things in there, and you know, the goofy moments, the funny moments, and the sentimental moments. If they still have, like, if they're gonna go spiritual, they're gonna go woo woo. Like, there's a way to do it that can be just like put you over the top into the greatness territory, which is what I think everyone does. Or I think that's how most people view movies, as far as what's good and what's bad. I think they actually do that when they're watching movies, whether it's consciously or they just like something they just feel about the movie that they can't explain. Right? People think like Interstellar isn't just some sci-fi, bro. There's something to it. There's something there in the movie. Go watch it again, guys. Go watch Interstellar again and watch all the little subtext and shit like that. And how does, you know, Matthew McConaughey find Murph, as he as he find her again. Go watch your favorite movies again. There's something there that we're like, fuck, something I really like about this movie, but I can't really. All I can point out is that one, you know, fucking gunfight scene. It's the only thing I can remember from it. But there's something that's making me, you know, rate this greater than something that also did a big gunfight scene. Yeah, but there's like some sort of difference there. I just can't tell what it is. What is it? Right? You can't watch The Dark Knight and just be like, oh, Joker's he's a psychopath. Like, no, you have Kevin Spacey in Seven. He's a psycho. Right?
Yeah. You got the Riddler.
Yeah, you got the Riddler. You got Buffalo Bill and fucking Silence of the Lambs.
Silence of the Lambs.
So
You
like,
got, what was that guy's name? Ralph Fiennes in the Red Dragon.
Red Dragon. Whatever his name was in that shit. Just call him Ralph Fiennes. Whatever. But yeah, you have these bad guys in these movies, but some stand out as like, this is like extra special. And you can't quite put your finger on it. But you know it's something different. And it can't just be you're a Batman fan. Like, no, that was like the Joker was recognized. Like Heath Ledger's Joker was recognized, period, in movies as like, huh, this is different. From any genre of movies, that shit looked different. But no one can really like. I've heard it try to be explained in many different from many different angles, but there's just something about it for the general audience where it's like, that's just good somehow. I don't know what it is. I kind of went off track there. I'm kind of just rambling through all this. Just my honest, like, my jumbled thoughts, my jumbled fucking brain. A half asleep jumbled brain. But
yeah,
it's not a bad movie, man. Not bad. You got anything you want to say?
I enjoyed it. Well, no, like you could tell it was it's the opposite. Like where John Wick's, there's no story. You're being driven from fight to fight. Here, the fight comes from those little flashbacks. The fights are like, they aren't the driving force. The driving force is the reasoning behind it. Which I guess you could argue the same for John Wick, but it's not. It's not really there. It gets stupider and stupider, John Wick.
It feels like, and I'm not even saying this is the case, but John Wick feels like, think of like two kids like writing a movie, and they're writing it as they go. There's like, okay, all right, so he breaks into the bar, starts killing everyone. Okay, what happens next? Well, all right, so like the train team of assassins, they go after him for leaving the circle. They got to go kill him now because he left the circle, right? He has a blood oath. Like, it sounds like little kids like writing a story as it goes, as opposed to this where it's like, I knew what I was doing from beginning to end. Like, I already had a idea and vision of where I was going, and I kind of just followed suit with it. And a lot of shit in here will be cliche. Some will look like cliches, and some will be actually kind of unique, I think, from this movie, from Monkey Man. Uh, but if you're all into the hero genre of storytelling, the hero's journey, and all that shit, you'll see plenty of tropes that come from that world. If you're into the deeper woo sense of things, yes, you will see the sun symbolism like a motherfucker. Even Christ-like figure things happening here. What is it when he meets the final boss, the fake guru guy? He's like, you're the one.
Yeah.
Got it. Got it. He's the one. Got it.
Yeah.
he's that guy. I thought this was like a dying breed too. I thought they don't do these things anymore, but I think Dev Patel saw the same movies I saw, and he's like, "Yeah, I want to make one of these type of movies." Like, oh, I get it. The hero who, like, he literally had a path, right, an experience, and then, but he was always kind of special. But he was also like at the bottom of the fucking barrel. And then he walked through those experiences and then got really thrown, like, you thought that was the bottom? Here's the actual bottom. He gets shit on, right? Then he has to retrace his steps through what he experienced in the beginning of the movie. But instead of this lowly, depressive motherfucker, now he has a beam of sunlight in his fucking hand and he's gonna fuck everyone up. Both physically and intellectually. Which is something they mixed in, right? That's kind of what separates it from John Wick, is that he isn't just, yes, he's a lot of brute force, but he's also intellectually, or he's armed with something in his mind, right? When he meets the final boss, the guru guy, he isn't just, I don't know. You killed my dog. Headshot, headshot, headshot. And he's fighting for the people. They kind of imply that, but I wish they would have went a little more into it. But they do. It's just symbolic, I think. Like the convent thing that he ends up at, the little hippie encampment thing, and that's where he like recovers and trains, and that's to him going away, learning some spiritual lessons. Right, he takes the whatever it is, the drug or whatever. Which they said something interesting behind it. They're like, oh, what is it? Weak men, like, the only ones that do this shit are weak men, but the only ones that survive are strong men. I think it was like the line he said. And he blows the dust in his face, and he goes on this fucking, like, hallucinogenic fucking, deal with your own psychological trauma voyage thing. I'm like, okay. Alright. It's definitely one of those things. It's just, here's the thing that this movie will suffer from is the time limit. Something like that needs to be an epic, man. It needs to be like 3 hour, like a 3 hour movie to really go into it and to really take you through details and portions to make it stand out as unique. Otherwise, it does look like something like The Matrix or Batman Begins or whatever. But yeah, it is what it is. You might even, based on this, the way it's shot and the style of it and the crazy action and even the things that people might not recognize other than subconsciously about the story, this will probably get greenlit for a sequel. We don't know if he dies, right? At the end, we don't know if he dies or not.
Yeah.
So they'll give him a sequel if he wanted it. I'm very sure of that. I think you'll have enough fans of this thing. Yeah, it is what it is. All right. Scores, I guess.
I don't know.
Kind of tough.
7-4.
7-4.
7.5, something like that. Yes,
7:45.
7.4. Let's go.
7:4. Okay. I'm gonna go 7.7.
Nice.
7.7, 7.8 in that territory. It's above average, but some of they need to make something. If he makes another movie and he's like, okay, you saw all the tropes, now let me like dig into writing, like then we're on to something. But if we leave it as is, there's plenty of things I've recognized from other movies. Not that I dislike those things in those movies. Like I said, Dev Patel probably saw some shit that I've also seen. It was like, I like that thing. I like that element to like a hero in a movie. But it might be, you stared too hard at them to where you end up just like kind of imitating them, script wise, right? Plot wise and script wise. The other things, like the things you're supposed to feel, like I said, the quote unquote spiritual side of the movie or sense of it, the woo woo, that shit. It's like, okay, that could just be for him and like what he felt when he was watching those movies. And he's like, fuck, how do I showcase this? How do I show it? Now I'm like, you know what? That's the unique thing that I want to dig more into. Also with a unique fucking plot too, as well. A unique story. Right? Not just it's different. How's it different? It's Monkey Man. Well, that's Batman. Is it that much of a he kills? Well, he doesn't. Yeah. I don't know. You'll be able to see, if you're into this genre, you'll be able to see some of your favorite movies within this movie, which I appreciate as like a fan. But as a critic and as scoring things, I have to tax you for it. I have to until you prove to me that this is something otherwise, meaning a sequel usually. I have to tax you. Do we recommend? Go.
Yeah, I recommend.
I 100% recommend. In fact, I recommend a second viewing. I'll probably give this a second viewing. Good chance. Maybe I'm being too harsh. Maybe I'm being too soft. Pause. And so this will get a second viewing just off of the elements I saw in the movie that were impressive and honestly kind of like a fossil. It's like a throwback, man. Like I don't see people make hero movies like this anymore. They're usually popcorn, corny ass shit, or a violent version of popcorn, which is John Wick. It's popcorny. People don't realize it's popcorny because they're like, whoa, it's dark and like gritty. Like, no, it's not. What makes it dark and gritty? Oh, well, he's shooting people in the face. Like, that's your fucking sense of like, we know it's fake, man. Right? We know these movies are fake, so. But, whatever. Neither here nor there. All right. Anything else before I end this?
No.
All right. Monkey Man, I recommend it. Go see it. Get some decent grades here from us. I think it's worth a watch. And if you do see it, please tell us what you think. I'm curious if people see kind of see what I'm seeing with this movie. There's like a little bit. It's not your typical action, but it could be your typical messianic hero, prophet, whatever the fuck character. Your Luke Skywalkers, your Batmans, your Neos. There's a little bit of a cliche thing happening with that, but at the same time, not your typical action movie, at least in modern day. So, tell us what you think.